August 19th, 1952. Lon Kruger was the firstborn of the Kruger family and was raised in Silver Lake, Kansas, where he would form a charitable mindset instilled to him by his parents.
Who inspired you to get in with all your charity work?
My parents. They always very giving, very involved in community, very involved in youth sport organizations, coaching teams, giving back in a lot of different ways and reaching out and helping others. So my mom and dad were at the heart of all that, and had terrific, examples in front of me through the coaches I've had and through teachers I've had and other people throughout my life.
Kruger played for Jack Hartman's Kansas State Wildcats from 1972-74, where he earned Big 8 Player of the Year in 1973-74, and earning the nickname of Mr. Hustle, as well as going to the Elite 8 as a player in 72 and 73. He then took over for the legendary coach Jack Hartman from 1986-90, where he was 81-47 and took the Wildcats to the Elite 8 in 1988.
Was there any coaches in particular? What about my coach Jack Hartman?
Coach Hartman was a terrific coach, all about preparation, all about putting his players in a position to be successful, understanding responsibilities, understanding developing good habits, all those things that you want from a coach.
Kruger went to the University of Florida in 1990, where him and his wife won consecutive community service awards from the Gainesville Community Council on alcohol and drug abuse. In 1995, Kruger was named the Volunteer of the Year in Gainesville, Florida. In 1994, he would take the Gators to the Final Four.
Like I mentioned earlier, your time at Florida, you won the Volunteer of the Award. I did some research. You and your wife were involved in a lot of the drug abuse, trying to get people and teams off of drugs and stuff like that. How did you get involved in that? Was there like a particular route, or?
But usually it comes, and number one, my wife is involved in a lot more than I am in the communities, and a lot of times we're doing things together. The position of basketball coach, oftentimes offers you a platform that you wouldn't have otherwise. So a lot of times people want the platform more than they want me, and I understand that. But as a coach, if we can use that platform to encourage young people to say no to drugs and talk about the need for more assistance with teenage homelessness or Coaches versus Cancer or whatever it might be. But again, my wife has been very involved in community charities where we've been, and like I said, a lot of times we've done that together.
Kruger would then get involved with Coaches versus Cancer.
Like you said, you mentioned Coaches versus Cancer. When did you get involved in that? What year, do you know?
Really started from the beginning. That all started in the early 90s when Norm Stewart was a cancer survivor, and coaches around the country rallied in support of Norm, really, and in looking for ways to raise awareness, raise dollars for research. And again, coaches over the last 25, 26 years have raised, through their efforts, over $100 million for Coaches versus Cancer. So it's a signature choice of charity of choice for the National Basketball Coaches Association. So it's been a good cause.
After Florida, Kruger would accept the head coaching position at the University of Illinois from 1996 to 2000. His next stop would take him to the NBA with the Atlanta Hawks in 2000 to 2003. Kruger would then move on to UNLV from 2004 to 2011. In 2011, Kruger would accept the head coaching job at the University of Oklahoma, where he currently continues his charity work.
Another question on your charity. Have you seen that from your example? Some of your players look at you like, man, coach is a hard worker. I mean, they call him Mr. Hustle on the court back in the 70s. And then they look at you and and then it inspires them to get involved in charity and make an impact on the community.
You hope so. I don't know that really, that they really think like that day to day, but we want them out in the community, out in the schools, out in mixing with young people. We have a lot of young people that practice every day, and we want our players to understand that they've got the opportunity to impact others simply by what they're doing as college basketball players. And so you hope they take that to heart and carry that on after they leave the University of Oklahoma.
At Oklahoma, Kruger has compiled an 122-77 record, taking the Sooners to the NCAA tournament 4 times, which includes 1 Final Four appearance while coaching the 2016 Consensus National Player of the Year Buddy Hield. But Kruger looks ahead at future charity work, which also led him to another National Charity Award to recognize his service to the community.
What do you think will be the next charity work that should be looked into moving forward in the years 2017 going on to the next decade of the 2020s?
hard to say what lies ahead. Certainly there's greater need, it seems like, every year. The fight against cancer is one where there's been tremendous strides made, and yet a long way to go. People are living longer lives now with cancer. They're living more quality lives as cancer survivors, and yet it's still a terrible disease, and we've got to keep working at it. And again, we've made strides. The hundreds of thousands of people that work in that fight, but a long way to go.
Okay. Earlier this week, you were awarded the NABC award.
Okay.
Yeah. How did that make you feel?
Anytime you've coached for as long as we have, you have the opportunity to meet a lot of different people and work with a lot of different people on positive causes, and we've been a part of a much bigger team in doing that. And again, a lot of it's because of the position that we hold as a coach in the community, and we hope we are able to use that platform in a positive way.
On February 25th, 2017, Lon Kruger would coach against his alma mater, Kansas State, for a memorable game for the coach who has a heart of gold, who everybody loves.
Lon Kruger, of course, is a legend in Kansas. Anybody that's been around Kansas sports very long knows about him. We've seen a number of games when he was playing and when he was coaching. And I actually had a son that went up to his basketball camp. I went up with him. Anyway, quite a quality person, an extremely good coach, extremely good athlete, great family.
I know Lon Kruger grew up in Silver Lake, Kansas, and for a while he coached out at UNLV, and I was at a game in Utica, Kansas, and he came up and sat by me and was trying to recruit one of the players from Burlington that eventually went to KU, but I have a lot of respect for Lon Kruger.
I taught in Silver Lake, Kansas for a good number of years. Went there in about 77 and left in 92, I believe. And of course, I knew of the Kruger family. I had Lon Kruger's younger brother in school, and then I had a nephew of his in school. And they're just a very well-respected, very well-liked family in the Silver Lake community.
In his 30th season, after accepting the Kansas State head coaching job, he would record his 600th win against his alma mater, in a script that not even Hollywood could write for the Kansas State player and coach who had his number retired in 2006 and was enshrined in the Kansas Sport Hall of Fame in 1999. He deserved it because of his character, his basketball brain, and most importantly, his heart of gold.